My friends over there, they said I'm so popular I should start charging for my singing.
You can charge after us.
Tomorrow I'll start
You
charging.
want to tell us your name real quickly?
My name is Bill Slater. It's really Wilbur Slater, but
All right, you want to spell it for us, please?
Wilburslater.
And can you tell us what branch of the military you were in?
The Navy, United States Navy.
What was your rank?
What was my rank? Well, when I went in, I was seaman. When I come out, I was a second-class radio operator.
How old were you during Pearl Harbor?
When it started, I was 17.
And can you share with us your personal experience that happened on that day?
Well, yeah, I could tell you what. I was down below decks when it started, and as I was going up, I seen the guys, their faces, and how serious they were. I figured there's something going on here. And I got up, they had what they call a casemate. That was my battle station, and I looked right out over here where the Shaw blew up, and I saw that big explosion. That's when I realized it was a serious thing. But remember, now I'm really a raw recruit, and so my job was to hand in shells, ammunition for that little 3-inch 50 anti-aircraft gun. Well, while I was there, the hoist that brought those shells up broke down. So we had to go down below decks to the armory there and bring those shells up. That was fixed ammunition, it wasn't powder yet. Had to brought up manually. While we were down getting those shells, the one bomb that struck the ship went right through where we would have been. So the only bomb that hit it killed 23 guys, from what I understand. I didn't count them, so anything I say, and that's about as close as I got to getting hurt. My buddy got hurt. He got a piece of shrapnel in his knee. I saw him later on that afternoon in the hospital. He was burnt so bad you wouldn't have recognized him if he was your own brother. That day and to this day, I've never worn a ring. Guys got those old big ugly Navy, USN on it, Navy and Army, and they had them all. And the guys got burnt, they had to cut those rings off, and they're all swollen up. That was the end of my ring day right there. I've never worn another one, so that was probably a pretty good lesson to learn at that time. So outside of that, I didn't do a hell of a lot that afternoon. A big Marine sergeant threw me a rifle and 2 bandoliers of ammunition and told me to go by the hospital and patrol that place. 2 days later, I went back to the ship. They asked me where in the hell I was. I told them, and that was the end of it. So when you're 17 and you don't know anything, and some guy that's that tall and tells you to do it, you generally do it. So I was good at following orders.
When you first saw the first explosion, what was the first thing going through your mind? Did you immediately think it was?
Well, down below decks, and I don't know whether you know this or not, but on those ships they have, you've probably seen it on TV, where they have a klaxon, bong, 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 all hands man your battle station. Well, that was nothing new because you practiced all the time. But Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, that's a bit unusual, So you questioned it right away, because they had a lot of training sessions. Further up top side you got, the more you begin to realize something's for sure here today. But the surprise was the key, and it was a complete surprise. Outside of my son's death, that was the most tragic day I ever lived, and it was a tragedy. Don't want to be maudlin about it, but a lot of young fellows died there.
Were you afraid for a long time that there'd be another attack? Were you afraid that there would be another attack after for a very long time?
Well, when I'm your age, life's your bowl of cherry, nothing's going to hurt you, you're going to live forever. But when you see something like that, that gives you pause. Well, maybe life is not really all that secure. So, but when you're young, it's altogether different than when you get down the road a ways. But after that, I played the game like everybody else. Got out of the service. I'd already met my girlfriend in the Navy on Market Street in San Francisco. We got married, had 2 kids, stayed together for 60 years. She died here a few years ago. So outside of that, the story is pretty much like everybody else, I'd imagine. I don't know.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about Pearl Harbor?
I wouldn't know what to say. I mean, I can tell you a jillion stories, but one of them was I was over by the Hospital Point where that battleship Nevada had grounded. And I told you I had this rifle and the bandoliers of ammunition. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing over there, but I just doing what they told me to do. And when 3 planes, I think it was off the Carrier Enterprise, whatever one, and I heard them they had a little machine gun nest there, and I heard them say, they were our planes, don't shoot on. Well, this whole area just erupted. Every gun in this area just blew out. Well, not being too smart, but smart enough to know that what goes up's got to come down, right? I thought, well, it would behoove me to get a little shelter somewhere. It was over by the Naval Hospital over here. And you know, you live here, you know these things are built off the ground a little bit. So I decided I would crawl into the building, and any shrapnel coming down would hit the roof, right? But they had the little wire around the grass, keep off the grass wire. I didn't see that. I hit that wire, over I went, the rifle went in the air, came back and hit me in the head. So I said, well, the Japanese didn't kill me, but I did a pretty good job on myself. That was that. And I went back to the ship, and we took off and went to San Francisco. Like I say, that's where I met my wife, and of course we didn't marry till after the war.
So, knowing what you know from Pearl Harbor, what advice would you give to an 18-year-old going into combat today?
I would have no comment about that at all. Other than good luck. Yeah, well, these youngsters here, you talk about being proud. I'm really proud of these guys. You talk about spit and polish. They really are something else. Yeah, if I had my brothers, they wouldn't be in that harm's way. But I don't think anybody that's been close to battle or anything to do with warfare would recommend it. So here he comes. Look at him now. Yeah, this guy here. Hey!
The son or daughter right over there, that lady over there. So look for that walking around.
He's the guy, he's the reason for, he's not a survivor, but he runs a little club that we have, you know. So what he says, I'm the responsible for being here. He's responsible for us being here. He loves World War II history. And every month we have a meeting. There's only 6 of us left, so how long that'll last, who knows. Yeah, I can't think of anything I would tell young fellows in dire situations other than good luck and Godspeed.
We appreciate your service and the interview. Thank you very much.
Anything that has to do with lovely young ladies, I'm available.
Well, how about a picture with both of us?
Sure.